You know, when you think about a university, you probably picture this quiet, local place for learning, right? Well, what if I told you they're actually in the middle of a fierce, global race? A super high stakes competition for the best students, the most money, and of course, bragging rights. Yep, you heard me. Higher education has gone international, and it's changing absolutely everything.
So, what happened? What lit the fuse on this global free for all? I mean, how did we go from the local college campus to this worldwide battle for the top spot? It's a pretty wild story, and we're going to break it all down.
And trust me, the answer isn't just some passing trend. We are talking about a massive, seismic shift that's basically redefining what a university is even for. So, let's dive in and figure this out together. Okay, so to really get our heads around this huge global race, we're not going to start in some stuffy university president's office. Nope. We're going to start much, much smaller. It all boils down to a single choice, a choice that you, or maybe a friend of yours, has definitely thought about.
Yep, that's it. That simple thought. That one Google search for colleges in Paris or business schools in Singapore. That little flicker of curiosity. When you multiply it by millions and millions of people all over the world, well, suddenly you've got this incredible global demand, a market that universities realize they could not afford to ignore.
And these reasons you see here, wanting new experiences, getting a top-tier education, building a global network, they aren't just bullet points on a list. They're the fuel for a multi-billion-dollar global industry. Universities saw this giant pool of ambitious students and just dived right in.
So the big question is, how does one person's dream of studying abroad turn into this massive global shift? Well, to get that, we have to get clear on two huge ideas that people throw around all the time, but they're actually very different: globalization and internationalization. First up, globalization. The easiest way to think about it is like the weather. It's this huge, powerful, mostly invisible force that's just constantly connecting our world, zipping people, money, and ideas across borders faster than ever before. It's the climate, the environment that everything else is happening in. Okay, so if globalization is the weather, then internationalization is how a university decides to dress for it. It's not something that just happens to them. It's their active, deliberate strategy to deal with that global weather system. It's their game plan to build bridges, open doors, and, well, to compete. So let's just nail this down to be super clear. Globalization is the why. It's the big external force that's making universities think bigger. Internationalization is the how. It's the actual playbook they're using to try and win on that global stage. All right, so we get the why and the how. But what does this university playbook actually look like in the real world? Let's go ahead and open up the toolkit and see the strategies they're really using. And here's the playbook right here. You've got your classic student exchanges, sure, but it goes so much deeper than that. Universities are now teaming up across oceans for huge research projects, totally redesigning their courses to have a global feel. And in the most extreme cases, they're literally building brand new campuses thousands of miles away from home. So where is all this talent flowing? Well, you've got the usual suspects, the big dogs, the US and the UK. But check out who's crashing the party now. Australia has become a massive player. And then you have Malaysia, which has played it so smart, creating this niche as a high-quality, affordable hub that's pulling in students from everywhere. The old map is definitely being redrawn. And here is a perfect example of that strategy in action. China's Yaxamen University didn't just, send out a few brochures and hope for the best. No way. They made a huge power move, building a full-on campus right in the heart of Malaysia. That's not just attracting a few students. That's planting a flag and showing your influence in a really important part of the world. Now, whenever you have a global race, what's the one thing you absolutely need? A scoreboard, right? You got to know who's winning. And in the world of academics, that need for a scoreboard has created something incredibly powerful: the Global University Rankings. And make no mistake, these rankings are not just some guide for nervous high school students. For the universities, this is everything. It's like their stock price. In this global game, your ranking is your currency. It determines your funding, helps you attract the best talent, and can even shape government policy. But here is where it gets really tricky. Not all scoreboards use the same rules. The big three rankings all have a different idea of what best even means. You've got the QS rankings, which are basically a global popularity contest. What do other academics and big companies think of you?
Then there's Times Higher Education, or THE, which tries to be the all-rounder, balancing teaching and research. And then there's the Shanghai ranking, which is just a raw, hardcore measure of pure research power. Each one creates a totally different game.
And this is where the universities start playing 4D chess. They aren't just doing their work and hoping for a good score. Nope, they are actively reverse engineering their entire game plan to climb these leaderboards. They'll hire superstar professors to get more citations for the THE ranking, or they'll launch huge marketing campaigns to boost their reputation for QS. It's a very calculated and very expensive strategic dance. But there's a flip side to all this competition. This constant, obsessive chase for a higher number on a list, it has a dark side. All this pressure to compete is creating some serious cracks in the system, and it's forcing universities to ask some really tough questions about what they're actually supposed to be doing. And the hurdles are just enormous. It's a non-stop, super expensive arms race for the smartest students and professors. The pressure to find funding is relentless. And then just think about the logistical nightmare of making sure a degree from your campus in Dubai is just as rigorous as one from your main campus back home. These are the kinds of problems that keep university presidents up at night. And this brings us right to the heart of the whole issue. This relentless chase for prestige. Is it actually making education better, or is it becoming a dangerous distraction from what a university is fundamentally supposed to do, teach students and discover new knowledge? It's a high-stakes balancing act, and you could say the very soul of higher education is hanging in the balance. So, there you have it. The global university race is on. It's real, and it is reshaping higher education as we speak. It's driven by everything from a single person's curiosity to these massive global forces. But as all these campuses around the world chase higher rankings and global prestige, we're left with one massive question. What is the actual finish line? In this incredibly high-stakes game, what does it truly mean to win?